Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Or if it's your first time, welcome especially. I'm Sally, if we haven't met yet. Really glad you're here. Today I was getting ready to do some grocery shopping, had just made my meal plan for the week, when it occurred to me that I haven't done a pro-metabolic grocery haul in a while, and they're a lot of fun to film, and they're also a lot of fun for me to watch, so I thought, well, why not just do that today? And while we are going through the haul, I'll also give you some ideas for meals, just like weekly meal inspiration, I hope, based on what I'm going to be eating and making this week. So I hope the light's okay. I closed the curtain because I have kind of a weird setup here, but it's late in the day, so hopefully you can see me. I'll do my best if it's funny to fix it after the fact, either way. And before we hop into it, if you aren't yet subscribed to the channel, if you would hit that subscribe button, it is a huge help, a huge blessing to me. And if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps with the algorithm and all that good stuff. But let's get into the haul. I went to Costco and I went to Trader Joe's, which are my usual two grocery stores, and sometimes I have to buzz by just like a more conventional one at some other point in the week to pick up a few things that I just couldn't get at those two stores. But for the most part, I find that this works great. So first thing I got was some grass-fed milk from Trader Joe's. Love this. I really can taste a difference, and the fat protein kind of makeup is going to be different, and just the nutrient density is going to be different in grass-fed milk as opposed to non-grass-fed, just grain-fed cows, grain-fed milk. So I love that I can get this for about $4.50 at Trader Joe's, which is still pricey when you compare it to regular milk, but when you compare it to grass-fed milk at other grocery stores, it's a lot less expensive, and it tastes so good too. It's so creamy and so rich. So I got that. Then I got some heavy whipping cream. Just use it in a variety of things. There'll be a few dishes that I'll throw this in this week, but I also like to use it for my cherries and cream gummies. And something I'm so excited for as it starts to get colder is doing apple cider with a little bit of whipped cream on top. It's not quite time for that, but it is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world, and I am really excited. I got some Manchego cheese. This is 100% sheep's milk, which is great because my husband is not really able to tolerate cow's milk, at least the A1 protein cow's milk, but I want to make some like lasagna stuffed spaghetti squash this week. As you can see, I have two spaghetti squash right here. I'm actually gonna do that tonight for dinner. It's a half-baked harvest recipe that I saw today as I was doing my meal planning, and I have no issue at all with just regular lasagna noodles, but I do love spaghetti squash, love the nutrients you can get from them as well, and I thought it was a fun idea. So I have this. I already put it in the fridge because it had been out of the fridge in the car a little bit too long, but I also just got some boring old ground chicken that the recipe calls for. So that's one idea. I can link that recipe in the description box, and this cheese will also be great for just snacking. It tastes kind of like a mix between Parmesan and something a little bit milder, and it has a great texture. Also, in terms of proteins, I got some Italian sausage. This is for like a Tuscan soup I'm gonna make a little bit later in the week. It has this Italian sausage. It will also have this bacon, super delicious bacon from Trader Joe's. This is the Applewood smoked. They also have a Black Forest, which I go back and forth as to which one is my favorite, but I'll use a few pieces of this for the soup, and then I will also just have some for breakfast some days. Always a treat to have some bacon. I got some pesto. Honestly, the ingredients on this are not great at all, but I was in a pinch, and for that soup I was just like, okay, I'm gonna get it. I really want to try making this, and I don't want to go to another store, and my basil plant has reached its demise. So we just got some of this pesto. Last non-C protein we'll say I got was this ground beef from Costco. I've shown you all this before, but it's a great deal for organic, kind of higher quality ground beef, and it comes out to about $4.50, I want to say, a pound, maybe even less than that. And when you compare that to just the regular beef at Trader Joe's or at most other stores, unless you're getting like the really really low quality stuff. This is less expensive and higher quality. So I love to use this. Each one of the squares is a little bit more than a pound. It's 4 pounds total. So anyways, I will use this ground beef for, I'm going to do meatloaf this week. I haven't made that in a long time, but I'm going to try and sneak some of my raw beef liver in there. It won't be raw once I cook it, duh. But I will also link a video on like why to eat liver if you haven't seen that yet, in case you're interested. So we'll do meatloaf, and then I got some potatoes over here. I'm gonna do buttery potatoes, and then I meant to get Brussels sprouts, but I forgot them. So I have some cauliflower in the fridge, and I also got some green beans. I will do one of those two things with it instead. Potatoes are really great because they are high in potassium, and yeah, just a nice compliment to any meal. I'm gonna set these down here actually. And then my sea protein is this keto salmon. It is an awesome deal at Costco. It's about $25, but it's 3 pounds of salmon. They are individually wrapped, but ultimately that's really handy just for having once a week, pulling a few out, thawing them, cooking them up. I made my favorite salmon recipe ever in my pro-metabolic dinner ideas video, unless I'm totally blanking. I didn't actually make it in that video, but I think it did. So I can link that here as well. But it is, or this particular salmon is wild caught. Obviously, that is a necessity for me if I'm going to buy salmon or any kind of fish. And it's actually a little bit higher protein and lower fat than like sockeye salmon, for instance. It's really meaty, and it is not as fishy as some other salmon that I have encountered. So I really love that. What we're gonna do with it this week is make an Asian salmon bowl. You could do this with cod, which is a great source of iodine, so highly encourage y'all to get some of that into your diet, whitefish of some kind, or you can do it with like a tuna of some kind as well, and it'll be rice, salmon, and like a glazy sort of soy spicy garlic sauce, and then I'll do like peas and maybe some other veggies and avocado in there. So yeah, I got some avocados. I'm sorry I'm thumbing stuff around, I'm trying not to, but I got some avocados. Costco has them for very cheap right now. It was like $4.50 for 6 avocados. And just a couple months ago, it was literally $10 for this number of avocados. So grateful that I can afford them. Once again, we'll throw those on a salad. And for that salad, I got some romaine, nothing fancy here. Just keeping it fresh. I got some Campari tomatoes. I also like to throw these tomatoes, or just tomatoes in general, on like a breakfast bowl I'll do with grits, goat cheese, eggs, avocados, good on there, tomatoes. You can do bacon or turkey bacon. It's really nice. So I already showed you the spaghetti squash. Let me get this out of my way. I'm gonna have to lean forwards, but I got some celery. Don't love celery, but it provides a nice base for a lot of, you know, Italian dishes or French dishes. And so I'm going to be using it in that Tuscan soup that I'm making, and I will use up the rest in the next couple weeks, probably with a chicken pot pie or something like that. I got some of these green beans, which are one of my all-time favorite finds at Trader Joe's. I know that might sound a little bit boring, but it's literally $2 for this big bag of green beans, and I just toss them in a cast iron skillet or in my always pan with some garlic and a little bit of olive oil or avocado oil and salt and pepper. Super easy, super yummy. And then I got some bell peppers as well. We're gonna make fajitas. I have some chicken in the freezer, and then I haven't decided yet, but I might end up getting some steak, but probably we'll just try to use up the chicken I have in my freezer. So for that, I do chicken and bell peppers, and then onions, which I have here, and then I'm also gonna use those just as a base in my soup, in the like lasagna stuffed spaghetti squash I'm doing tonight. Just love to have, you know, good yellow onions on hand. Over here in my fruit bowl, I already put my bananas. And then we also, in terms of produce, I'll put this down here too, got some lemons. Don't love that it all comes in plastic, but sometimes it is just how it is. More of the time than I wish it was. But also some chopped kale for the soup that I'm gonna make. And then I guess I'll take this up as an opportunity to say, just because the pro-metabolic space reminds you that you don't need to eat a bunch of raw vegetables, and that eating raw vegetables isn't the best way to absorb the nutrients. Doesn't mean it's bad to eat raw vegetables or raw greens on occasion. And I actually really do enjoy like a massaged kale salad, or especially sometimes if you even warm it a little bit to break down those fibers. You can do apple, and you could do pepitas, some goat cheese, anything like that. That just sounds really good to me right now. So I might make that at some point during the week with my leftover kale. I got some coffee. This is a great find at Costco. It is a darker roast, and I usually go for more medium or light roast, but high quality and a good price. It is the Mayorga whole bean cafe cubano roast, and use that in our espresso machine. Sometimes for pour over, but usually just in our espresso machine. And we got eggs. That's kind of boring. I don't even need to show you. They're just like pasture raised eggs. I got some sage to use in my stuffed spaghetti squash. I got some garlic. You really cannot have enough garlic. That goes in everything. And then some fun fall stuff. I got this pumpkin puree. What I'm gonna do with this is make my favorite pumpkin coffee creamer, and it's not just the pumpkin spice, it's pumpkin spice, but also with legitimate pumpkin in it. So great way to get some nutrients actually into your coffee, and it just tastes delicious. I plan to share that in a video soon. Nice, easy way to make a pro-metabolic coffee, in the sense that you are adding some carbs and fat and some protein. So there's that. I got a little bit of maple syrup also for that recipe. And then I got some pumpkin pie spice as well, because I was out of that, although I use maple syrup and everything, so not just for that recipe. And then just a few more things. I got some rainbow peppercorns. I usually get these at a local spice merchant we have, but I'm out, and I think Samuel is going crazy without pepper. Funny addiction he has. But I just grabbed some while at Trader Joe's. And then the best chocolate bar of all time. It is the dark chocolate sea salt caramel. And this cute little package. I'll just let you appreciate it for a second. Okay, go buy it. Go buy it right now. That is all. And the last thing I got is this vanilla bean paste, also from Trader Joe's. I haven't tried this before, but I have heard people rave about it, specifically Kristen Johns. She talks about it all the time, and it's actually seasonal, which is kind of funny. I guess it's like a September or a fall seasonal sort of thing, but you use, it says back here, a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste in place of a teaspoon of vanilla extract, or in place, use a little bit more, but in place of a vanilla bean. So I think it would be really tasty to make some sort of vanilla iced latte with this. We'll have to try. I just had my idea for my coffee tomorrow. But that's it, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this little kind of impromptu video that I've just thrown together. Until next time, bye y'all.